Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to this week's Forex Focus, and welcome back after the summer holidays. I hope you all had a really great summer break and you were able to enjoy the sunshine, maybe managed to take a vacation or two. And of course, I hope you're ready and raring to make some serious profits going into the end of the year. Now, in today's show, we've got a lot to talk about. Obviously, we've got the FX pairs to take a look at. So there are quite a few of those setting up at the moment that we're going to talk about in just a few moments. We've also got some changes that are going to be taking place in the Forex Focus, and I'll talk to you a little bit about that later on in the show. And of course, I just want to make sure that you're all signed up for tomorrow's webinar, where I'm going to talk to you about how you can go about trading for an income. And obviously that's a little bit different to trading to grow your account month on month and year on year. And the approach is slightly different, but we'll talk about that in just a few moments anyway. So without further ado, now let's jump over to the charts and see what's setting up for in this week's FX markets. So it looks like the markets have woken up from their slumber of August, when obviously all of the major participants were away. And we've got quite a few opportunities that we could look to take in the coming weeks. The first one we're going to look at is the AUDCAD. Now, the AUDCAD is looking good because it's broken through quite a significant structure level. On the daily charts, you can see it's broken through this level here, these lows here. So if I just put in a support line, and that also coincides with quite a large structure level on the weekly charts. Now, granted, we've just put that in there. Now, granted, we're coming up to a big support level on the weekly chart as well, but we are beneath that level at the moment. And what we're hoping for is basically we're hoping for the market to stay below this level here, hold below this level, and basically give us a little bit of a pullback. So track back along there and then break to the downside. Now, if it can do that, we are definitely going to be looking to take this short. The only issue that we have is that if the market bounces too much and bounces back up above this level here, then it's going to be completely off the table. And obviously, if the market bounces back within this range here and gives us a short at this level, then that's going to be quite a tricky one because we'll be trading into quite a large support level. But this, if we were to ignore this level here, other than that, everything else looks phenomenal for a very nice trade. In the setup, we probably take it either on the 1 hour chart or on the 4 hour chart. So we'll just have to sit and wait to see how that pans out for the week ahead. But the AUDCAD is definitely one that is on our radar. The other one, the other one of the few that we're looking at is the Aussie dollar. Now, the Aussie dollar is a little better than the AUDCAD because we aren't trading into any huge levels. We've sort of got clear water for the moment, and as you can see, we could probably take a pullback on any one of these 4 charts here. So we could either take a pullback on the weekly, we could look for a pullback on the daily, you could look for a pullback on the 4 hour or the 60-minute chart. So you've got a world of opportunities here. From my perspective, it's gone quite a long way on the daily chart. So if I was to get involved in anything on the hour chart, it'd be very short term. Really and truly, I'd prefer to see a pullback now on the 4 hour chart. And once we've had a pullback on the 4 hour chart, I'd then be looking for the next opportunity to take this short. So the Australian dollar is looking very good. It's trending downwards, as you can see here. We've broken through structure levels. And we pretty much got clear water at the moment. So the Aussie, if I had to pick between the Aussie dollar and the AUDCAD, I'd be going with the Aussie dollar purely for the fact that we aren't trading into that huge support level. The franc yen is also offering us a great opportunity. Now, this one is facing down on every chart apart from the weekly. The weekly chart, obviously, the yen has been weakening over the past few years, so it's going to take quite a lot for the weekly chart to roll over. However, having said that, as you can see here, on the daily chart, the market's moved now below the 100 moving average, which is quite a bearish sign. And for that reason, we're going to be looking to get short on this pair here. Similar to the Australian dollar, where we were favoring a setup on something like the 4 hour chart, we do the same here because, as you can see, the market's moved quite a long way for the 4 hour chart, and it really just will carry on going and going. So I can completely see a little bit of a pullback here in the start of next week. And if we get that, that's exactly the sort of price action that we'll be looking to exploit. So we'd be looking to take those short and obviously ride it for quite a way because now we know that the momentum is with us. The euro yen is also setting up quite nicely. As you can see here on the daily charts, it's broken through this structure level over here. So daily chart is broken through structure level. On the hour chart, it is trending down. The 4-hour chart is trending down. And the weekly chart, it is breaking below the 100 moving average, which would be a bearish sign. It did close below there. So that's certainly something we're going to look to exploit. Now, the difference with this one to the others is that I'd be completely willing to take a trade here on the 1-hour chart as well, because the market hasn't moved as far. And hence I could see the market dropping a little bit lower before we start to get a pullback. But if we get a pullback going into this evening's trading and tomorrow's trading, then I'll be willing to take it on any of the charts. So but this one here is looking very, very good. But as I said, I'm not too bothered, not too fussed on this one, whether it be the daily chart, whether it be the 4-hour or the 1-hour, whichever one presents itself first, that will be the one that I look to exploit. In the euro-dollar chart, we're looking to take a short. Now, this one doesn't look as clean as the other charts from a trending perspective. So some of you might miss this, but we're actually already short this. We took the short when it closed back beneath this level here on sort of like a classic liquidity fade type trade. And basically what that is that you look for a key level, you wait for the market to break up above a key level, then you wait for it to close back below it. And once the market closes below it, it kind of gives you an indication that, the big money don't want to go long, because when you get a break above a level like this, that you would expect, if it's a real move, you'd expect all of the trend traders to jump in there and to really push this on upwards. Whereas that hasn't happened here and the market's closed back below. So that kind of gives us an indication that the market wants to go short. So we're already short this, and we're looking for the momentum move below this level here, below the 100 moving average, then a bit of a pullback to look to add to that trade there. So if you're not in it at the moment, you may have missed the boat. We've definitely missed the initial trade there. But if we do get momentum, then we'll be looking for to add to that position. The pound yen, like the rest of the yen charts, have all fallen off a cliff. And this one here is looking ripe for a very, very nice trade if we get the pullback on the 4-hour chart. I kind of don't favor a pullback on the 1-hour chart here, although if it looks fantastic, I'd take it. After the markets move this sort of distance, I'd really like to see it on the 4-hour chart pull back to these sorts of levels here and then give us a signal to go short, at which point obviously I'll be taking that. And that to me looks like a better trade. So the one thing that we need to be careful of is that we don't want to be short on all of the yen pairs. So the Swissy yen, the euro yen, the pound yen, and obviously I'll just jump over here to the New Zealand yen. Again, this is a short opportunity. So all of these trades are essentially betting on yen strength, okay? And you kind of don't want to do that. So if you get into, 2 trades, then I kind of leave the other 2. Or if you definitely want to exploit all 4, then what I'll do is cut your position size down, cut it into quarters so that you can take all 4 trades, but you're not taking on, excessive risk. And in some ways, that might be the better option, because what you're doing there is you're mitigating your risk. So if the yen does continue to strengthen, then you'll make the money like you would if you had it on one pair anyway. However, if some pairs don't go the way that we want it to, you'd still be able to make it on the others. So you won't be focusing all of your risk on one pair. So in some ways, I think that's actually the better option for you there. Okay. Then we have the pound dollar, which is going short. And again, this one, I would be favoring an opportunity on the 4-hour chart, because as you can see here, it's gone a long, long way on the 4-hour chart here. And what we'd like to see is a bit of a pullback towards this sort of area here. So previous level of support. So if we put that in there, this previous structure level, if the market can get back to there and then give us a short, I'd then look to initiate a shorting opportunity at this level and perhaps look to scale into the position. So if I'd put on a little position around here and then have another position waiting up here, because ultimately I think this is going to go shorter in the medium term. And I definitely think we can see sort of like the 1.4580 level. And what I don't want to happen is I don't want to get taken out of this trade, on just a little bit of a wiggle. So what I'll potentially do here is look to put on an initial position around here and then a second position up here and basically see how that pans out. Okay. And then the final trade that we're looking at is one on the New Zealand dollar. And the New Zealand dollar isn't as pretty as some of the other pairs, but it definitely is short. As you can see here, we've broken structure. On the 1 hour chart, we've broken structure as well. And what we'd like to see really is a bit more of a sell-off around this area here. So if it starts to pull back, then it would almost look like it's consolidating. You want to be a little bit careful of those. So I'll be looking for the market to basically sell off more from this level here before it pulls back. If it immediately starts to pull back, then trades on the 1 hour or the 4 hour chart will be completely off the table, and we'd have to look for one on the daily because the trend won't be showing on either one of these charts. Okay? So that wraps it up for this week's Forex Focus. I hope obviously you enjoyed and you found some value in what we talked about in the charts there. As I said, there's a lot of opportunities setting up this week, so potentially a lot of pips on the table there to be had. As I said at the beginning of the show here, there are going to be a few changes coming up. So one of which is you're going to see my darling brother enter the show, and we're going to do a little bit more with him. It's not going to be, completely chart focused. What we're going to do is extend the duration. So rather than sort of like a 10-minute show, if you like, it'll be looking more at 20-30 minutes where we discuss some of the fundamental themes out there on the markets, because I know a lot of you have those questions. We've been seeing some of the comments on the YouTube channel and the emails that we've been getting, and obviously we've been listening to you. So we're going to put all of that into play. So over the coming weeks, you'll start to see my brother get involved in the shows here. We'll talk about the fundamental drivers. He'll be giving his little tidbits and his analysis on the markets. Obviously, we'll continue to look at the charts. We won't, move away from the charts, because I know a lot of you find a lot of value there as well. And what we're also going to do is, two other things. First of all, we invite you all to send in your trades that you'd like analyzed. So every week we'll pick a few trades to analyze that you're looking at. So maybe some trades that you're in. If you want some comments or advice on it, please feel free to just drop us an email at support@traderscorner-online.com. So you drop us an email there with your charts and any comments. So then what we'll do is we'll pick a few. We won't be able to go through all of them because potentially we'll be getting hundreds, but we'll pick a few each week to go through and analyze, just to try and help you with your trading. Okay. And then the other thing that we'll be doing is having a traders Q&A. So any questions and answers that you may have, whether it be, obviously we'll be talking about the charts, but whether it be about a specific trade or just something that you might be finding difficult, and we'll sort of like have a 5-10 minute clinic there where we'll be answering your questions and giving any advice that we can, all in a bid to help you improve your trading. Okay, so they're the changes that are going to be coming up in the week or weeks ahead. What I also mentioned at the beginning of this video is to make sure that you're all signed up for tomorrow's webinar. Okay, so tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the evening, UK time, and we're going to have a webinar where I'm going to talk to you about trading for a living. All right, and that's a little bit different to some of the trading that you're used to. So with regular swing trading, what you're looking to do is you're looking to build up your capital over a sustained period of time. You're looking to compound your gains and grow your account month on month, year on year. What I want to talk to you about tomorrow is basically trading for a living. So looking to trade to take money out of the market each and every day to be able to put into your pocket. And this is perfect for people with smaller accounts. So if you don't have, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 pounds, but you want to be able to derive some sort of an income from the markets, then make sure you're on tomorrow's webinar, because we're going to talk about that, and I think you're really going to enjoy what it is that we have to say and we have to show. Okay, so to register for that webinar, obviously we would have sent the link in the email that I'm about to send you, but also beneath the video here. Okay, so beneath the video on YouTube, you'll also see a registration link. Click on that, put in your details, and we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow. That's Monday night at 8 o'clock in the evening. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this week's Forex Focus. Welcome back after the summer, and let's hope we can have a really great end to the year. Okay, so take care now and good trading.